Have you seen the video of a Florida man robbing a store with a box on his head? Nah, I have not seen that. Does he do anything cool or is he just a wacky little character? You know what I did see though? I saw Lululemon fired 2 employees who filmed thieves. And then the CEO doubled down saying that it was a violation of their policy, so he had to fire them. That shit was crazy. They did a whole interview about it. So basically what happened is a couple of thieves came into Lululemon and just ripped some clothes off the shelves, and 2 of the employees started filming them. And they followed them outside to like film the car, I guess to try and gather evidence of like where they what vehicle they were driving to help authorities. And they lost their jobs for it. And the reason given was because it's a violation of their policies because it puts the employees at risk, which is why the policy is in place. Which is interesting. I've always said when it comes to like a robbery or something as an employee, it's never worth like risking your life to try and protect merchandise or whatever. But that is just a far cry from reasonable here. Like they didn't do anything crazy. They just filmed them to try and help with the authorities. And they were fine. They didn't get attacked for it. They didn't need to lose their job. You could have just said like, hey, just be careful, you know? We appreciate that you went the extra mile to try and help us, but just be careful, that's all. And instead of doing that, they just fired him and then doubled down on it. This is so stupid. But here, this is basically the reasoning. You're dealing with potentially very aggressive and violent people committing these crimes. Retailers have seen employees lose their lives when they've tried to intervene. We have an absolute zero tolerance policy for engaging with guests in a way that could put themselves or others in harm's way, which, again, makes sense. You don't want to encourage your employees to be fucking heroes when it comes to somebody going in there to rob it, right? You don't want them to, like, give their life for their job. That's silly. But the employees were fine. They filmed it. That was it. They got evidence. They didn't need to lose their jobs. It's that simple. Like, it's just that simple. You could have just told them, hey, we're just trying to look out for your safety, so please just don't do that. They could have kept their fucking job. Is the resub rotted? That made me very frustrated. I've been seeing a lot on Twitter that there's this idea that robbery is a victimless crime. And I think that shit is so weird. I don't know why we're reaching that point. Like, you don't want to encourage perpetual thievery. It's so stupid. Like, it should be obvious that you don't want that to keep happening. It's bad for everyone. Not just, like, billion-dollar businesses or whatever, like Lululemon. It's bad for literally everybody. I don't know why that's becoming like a legitimate mindset. I think they resub ginger and psychedelic. The victim is the company, but the company gets a kickback from the government. That's why everyone thinks it's okay and sees it as free money. That perspective is like super stupid. Like that literally bleeds terminal, online, no real world anything. Because the victim is not just the company. The victim is literally everybody. It's the entire community. Like, actually the whole community. The employees won because it's scary. It's traumatizing to some employees when you get fucking robbed. But even beyond that, it's bad for all of the other shoppers. Maybe stores will just up and leave, which has happened with Targets and stuff because they kept getting robbed. They'll just leave, so then they no longer have that service. The community doesn't have access to it anymore. And then it just perpetuates more thievery from other businesses that might not be a billion-dollar business like Target, like mom and pop shops that are nearby. Like, you just don't want to keep encouraging that. You don't. It's not. It's just. It should be obvious. It's fucking stupid. Oh no, Target's bottom line. I just gave you an example of why it's not just Target. Like, what do you mean? Why is this even a discussion? I don't know. Like, I don't. It's one of the 10 Commandments. Don't steal. Like, it's as simple as it gets. Stealing is just not something to be encouraged regardless. It's just like, it's as simple as things get. There's nothing good that comes from it. Citing the Bible as a moral authority, high quality discourse, you're out of your wheelhouse. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic. That is one of the most brain dead things I've ever read. I'm just making a general statement of how stealing is never good. Like, it's not good. What is your wheelhouse? Just nonsense Twitter arguments in your echo chamber? Stealing bad. I'll say it with my whole chest. Stealing bad. Yet overcharging for items is okay. Actual Twitter moment. Ah. So you like waffles. That means you hate pancakes? Interesting. Oh, the rent is too damn high. That's an iconic moment in American history. If you're starving, take bread. It doesn't make it immoral. Why do the goalposts keep moving? This is all about Lululemon. If you're starving, steal as much Lululemon as you can. They all agree with stealing until their stuff gets stolen. I don't even think it's a matter of agreeing with stealing. I think it's just looking for things to argue about. Example, this is to you, Ozone, since you were very adamant about stealing being a good thing and that I'm stupid for thinking stealing's bad. I go to your house and I steal your packages off your porch. Are you mad at me? Because if so, you're a hypocrite. Target equal one guy. I'm talking about the general concept of just stealing shit for the sake of stealing shit to make money off it. Because it's not just exclusive to Lululemon. You think Lululemon and Target are the only places getting robbed? You think someone that steals from Lululemon is only stealing from Lululemon if they're not getting punished for it? That's moving the goalpost too, though. It's a simple concept. I am saying stealing isn't something defensible. You can make, like, extraordinary circumstances where it's like, you know, a kid who was dying of starvation stole bread from a food truck or something, right? You can make morally defensible positions for stealing. I'm just talking on a broad scale. There's no reason to encourage stealing. So I was just giving another example. I go to your house, I take your packages. Why are you mad? You didn't answer my question. Are you mad at me if I take your packages, Ozone? What started this? Oh, just the Lululemon stuff. Because these employees got fired for filming the thieves. They lost their jobs because they filmed the thieves to try and help with the investigation. And there were people saying that, you know, they just shouldn't have filmed the thieves. It's not a big deal. Why they get fired? They cited safety claims, which I've always said you should never, like, put your life on the line to defend the fucking merchandise at your store. That's stupid. But the fact is, they didn't like physically confront them. They just filmed. Just literally gathered evidence to help, and then filmed the car that they ran to, and then got fired. To make, like, an example out of them. Like, we don't accept this. I think that's ridiculous. You could have just told them, don't do it again. It's not worth it. Don't risk it. Instead of just taking their jobs away. I'd say do Assassin's Creed Black Flag over Odyssey. I'm not an Assassin's Creed fan, but Black Flag's definitely better than Odyssey. No, like I said, it is risky what they did, but at the end of the day, no one got hurt. They didn't do anything crazy. They just filmed. They didn't need to lose their jobs for it. Just make sure they know, don't do it again. Because next time they try that, maybe the thieves attack them, right? Like, it's not worth risking it. They just didn't need to lose their jobs. That's all I'm saying. Just that simple. You didn't need to take their whole jobs away. And the resub Duluth and the Prime Jameson. It's a policy violation. They're literally trained not to interfere. And they didn't. All they did was film. I don't really consider that an interference. They just filmed. They didn't get in there and start setting like basketball screens on them or anything. They just filmed. Just gathering more evidence. They didn't do anything that I feel would be even a violation of the no interference policy. But it is risky, so just tell them don't do it again, because maybe next time they try that, they get attacked. But you don't need to punish them you don't need to take away their jobs to punish them. Oh, I know companies don't give a shit about the employees. I'm not stupid. I'm just saying, like, this guy's going on TV trying to make himself seem like some kind of fucking hero. That he did this in order to save their life. Message to all the other employees to never do it no matter what. Yeah, I guess I just don't think it needed to be said that way. Just tell them don't do it again. That would have perfectly got the message across. Like I said, I don't think they interfered. They just filmed. Like, when I think of filming a robbery, I don't really think of them as actively interfering. So I would have felt like there was a teachable moment there to just make it be like, hey, that's still dangerous, don't do it, instead of firing.